Thanks for staying with us. I'm Greg Gutfield in for Bill O'Reilly. And in the Impact segment tonight, it's a time-honored tradition that contestants in the Miss World pageant participate in a bikini competition. I wouldn't know. But this year's event is being held in Indonesia, home to the world's most populous Muslim population. That religion, of course, no fans of bikinis. So the women will instead wear a one-piece swimwear, causing outrage among red-blooded males around the globe. Joining us now from Dallas, Mike Ghouse, president of the America Together Foundation. So, Mike, so the bikini is going to be removed and replaced to preserve feelings of Muslims. Do you feel that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, Greg, I have stood up for every race, ethnicity, religion, and people of culture. I'm going to stand up with the Muslims at this time for their sensitivities. They have a right to defend what they believe in. And in fact, we should be proud of them that they're protesting it. That is the sign of a good, healthy democracy. We should look at it in positive terms, Greg.
Okay. But don't I have a right to wear a bikini?
You do. But this is a business decision, Greg. There are 2 billion people going to be watching the pageant.
Yeah.
And it is in the interest of the pageant makers of the organization to have that viewership so they can get the advertisers. Yeah. We didn't have to go to Indonesia. We could have done it here in America. We went to Indonesia and we have to cater to them. Let me give an example. If you have a restaurant, you want to open a restaurant in a predominantly Jewish or Muslim neighborhood, you want to serve kosher meat. If you don't serve kosher meat, why would you want to do a stupid thing like that? In a Jewish neighborhood, you open a restaurant that serves kosher food, and that is a pure business. In this case, they are doing this show in Indonesia, a predominantly Muslim neighborhood, to cater to their needs. And what's wrong with that, Greg?
Yeah, that's it's a fair point. I want to make a point. I don't actually wear bikinis. I don't like them. I find belly buttons troubling. It's like an unblinking eye. Here's the thing that bothers me about this. I have a feeling it's more about capitulation than sensitivity. We saw Lady Gaga had to cancel a concert in Indonesia out of fear of having the actual venue torched. And what bothers me is it's not really about tolerance that we're talking about. It's about intolerance, the intolerance of Muslims who get angry and threaten violence. If there were bikinis in the Miss World pageant, would there be violence?
I'm sure it's going to be violence. It happened. It is just not Muslims, Greg.
Yes.
Hindus and Christians have done it too. In India in 1996, there were 10,000 paratroopers, military, were employed. There was a...
When did the Christians
the women's
riot?
Movement.
Wait, I missed the Christians. When did they riot over bikinis?
Not the bikinis. When they did the Passion of the Christ was shown in India, the Muslims, Hindus, and Christians got together and protested. They have burned the sets of the movies. It is not a Muslim thing. It is a human thing to protest against, and that is a very democratic thing to do, and we should appreciate that.
It's a democratic thing to riot and burn?
No. No, that is not the democratic. To protest is the democratic thing, and that is the right thing to do. We should admire them for doing that. In fact, every nation, if we don't protest, if the Republicans don't protest, Obama will get his way. And if we didn't have the whatever that was happening in Wall Street, Occupy, these are the things to express protest against something they don't like. We wouldn't want anybody to walk in a restaurant with no shoes and no shirts. What's the difference? It's not freedom. It is a system that we have to respect. Do in Rome when you are in Rome, do as the Romans do. Yes. As a very simple thing. And also, there's a very critical thing. Dale Carnegie had said, if you want to gather honey, don't kick the beehive. If you want to gather that money from that 2 billion viewers, we don't need to kick the beehive.
I know. We don't. But the thing is, Mike,
I like women.
Mike, we don't kick beehives. It's odd, but most of the people kicking the beehives right now are radical Muslims. We are not worried about democratic peaceful protests. We're worrying about beheadings. That's what we're worried about. There was a beheading in England just a few weeks ago. That's what scares us. It's not about peaceful people going out there and doing peaceful things. We're worried about violence and people threatening violence because of a bikini. That kind of disturbs me. And like I said, I'm a favor of the one piece. Mr. Ghouse, we got to go. Thank you for coming. Coming up, Ralph Peters on the NSA spy.